Minasan, konnichiwa, Samurai Engineer desu. So let us have a mathematics problem this 2020 Christmas celebration. So we have this shape that is a representation of Christmas tree, and let us relate to that in our algebra problem. So our algebra problem is under the topic graphs and functions, wherein we are in the translation of curves. So let us first do the problem wherein the curves are shifted horizontally. So curves horizontally shifted by some amount of d. Okay, so this is the given the Christmas tree shape. Okay, let's solve this solution. So this is the curve 1, curve 2, curve 3. So curve 1 is the basic one. As you can see, curve 1 is just a relationship of x to the e exponent y. Curve 2 to curve 3, by translating it from one point to another by amount of d. Okay, so let us find this. The required is, what is the equation of curve 3? Okay, so what is the equation of this curve? Okay, let us do this. So let's begin on the first curve. So curve 1, so we have x is proportional. So proportional meaning there is some proportionality constant, k1, so multiplied by e to the y. Okay, so let us find the general equation for curve number 2, which is the rotation of curve 1. So this will be rotated by just actually scaled. It's not actually rotated, it's scaled. So it is scaled by some constant value k2. So it's scaled. So from this point is scaled by this amount. So this height is scaled down 1, again in 1 over r squared. So scaled down. Okay, so and then curve 3 we will translate horizontally by amount of d. So from this point to this point is d. So we'll have horizontal translation, therefore k1 y k2 we have plus addition of d, letter d, or k3. Okay, so this is the general equation. So and because of that, let us continue by knowing that there are 3 unknowns, k1, k2, and k3, and therefore we want to have at least 3 points to be able to solve the 3 equations by having 3 given points. So these are the points 1, 2, and of course here 1, 2, 3. So we can use this one for the curve 1, this point for the curve 2, and this point for the curve number 3. So let us begin at point, what is this point? M0, because x is m and y is 0. So substituting that to the curve 1 equation, so m is equal to k1 e to the 0, and therefore this will just become 1, and we will find out that k1 is equal to m. Okay, next point number 2 is to be substituted to point number 2 is for curve 2, because it satisfies curve 2. Okay, so what is x? em. So em, and what is the height? So 1 over r squared. 1 over r squared. So let us substitute that to curve 2 equation. So EM is equal to K is equal to M, and then Y is equal to 1 over r squared multiplied by K2. Okay, so we have this equation, and therefore we can what? We can cancel out M, and we were left behind by the following equation. And since they are equal, and we know that E has an exponent 1, so therefore the exponent 1 is equal to the exponent of the other side, which is r squared K2. So transpose or multiply both sides by K2, we will know that K2 is 1 over r squared. And then for the last point here, so this value is M 0, and this is to be substituted to equation of curve number 3 because it satisfies that curve. So here, so n is equal to M E, so Y is 0, so 0 plus K3. So this E to the 0 is 1, therefore this is just M. So therefore K3 is equal to that is N minus M. If you subtract M from N and N minus M, that is actually the distance, and the distance is actually letter D. So that is the value D. And let us relate this D to the slope here of this triangle. So there is a triangle. From the triangle with the slope, what is the slope? 1 over AM. 1 over AM. And that is slope must be equal to, what is this? S, the value of S over, this is D. So you know that this is D, and therefore multiply both sides by DAM. So we'll have D is equal to SAM. Let us substitute to the equation. X is equal to K1 is M E to Y divided by K2 is 1 over R squared plus, here is the plus, K3 is this one. So X is equal to ME Y over 1 over R squared plus SAM. X, this one to the other side, it will become negative, and M R squared will become multiplied with Y X minus sum, and arrange it properly. You will notice R squared, meaning R times R equal to X. Arrange it properly, so Okay, Merry Christmas everybody. This was viral in social media 7 years ago. Here, using visualization insights, we found that it is a equation of Christmas tree.